The game is afoot.
Something's coming. Maybe it's Moriarty. Maybe it's not.
Hello, and welcome back to another video with me, Luke, the professional human. Today I want to talk about Sherlock. BBC Sherlock. BBC. You know, the one that everyone talks about because that's all that matters, because Benedict Cumberbatch is the main deal. If, as you probably remember, back in, right before 2012 when Series 2 came out, Sherlock, Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat released 3 words, and that was The Woman, the Hound, and the Foal, which related to, each word was in relation to an episode. They did the same thing with Series 3, and they've done the same thing with Series 4 now. The 3 words for Series 4 are interesting, some of which you can kind of have an idea of what they might be doing and exploring, whereas one is quite ambiguous. Don't really know where they're going to go with that just yet. But I've got a few thoughts, so I thought I'd go through the 3 words and give you an idea. Let's talk about the 3 words. First word we're going to talk about is the one that I probably don't know what in the world they're going to do with this, and it's Thatcher. I don't know. Literally, no idea. I can't recall reference in the original stories to anyone named Thatcher. I don't know what it could be referring to. Maybe Margaret Thatcher, no idea. The only 2 things I can think of is that Margaret Thatcher, I think it was Maggie, was used as the password in Hound of the Baskervilles or Hounds of the Baskerville in Series 2. Doubt that has anything to do with this. And the only other thing I can think of is on the John Watson blog, there is a story called The 6 Thatchers. And that's it. Is there going to be a conspiracy theory that goes back to the time of Margaret Thatcher? Obviously, you have Mycroft, who's, you know, steeped in the government and basically runs the government. Is there something to do with that? The other word is Sherrinford. This is the original name that Conan Doyle was going to name Sherlock before he stumbled upon or crafted the name Sherlock Holmes. William S. Baring-Gould, who set out to kind of put all the cases in chronological order as best he could, kind of dissects the Sherlock family tree and classes Sherrinford as Sherlock Holmes's older brother, so older than Mycroft, kind of thing. There is a reference in the final episode of Series 3. During that meeting, there is a quick reference to the other Holmes, which everyone kind of jumped on and think, oh, that must be a small reference to Sherrinford there. And that's kind of where they've left it. So it's interesting that they've dropped that reference now in Series 4. That name is going to mean something. Does that mean we're going to explore a whole nother, you know, brand new brother, Holmes sibling? What's his relation going to be to Sherlock and to Mycroft? Is he actually even going to show up? He might not. And a lot of people are babbling on about Tom Hiddleston coming and joining the show. He's probably not going to do that. Come on, let's move on now. Okay. But I think it is kind of interesting to think about the possibilities of there being this 3rd Holmes brother. So it's interesting to think about an older brother who's clearly, whatever his past is, led him into a very bad place. So we'll see what they do with that particular name. So the last name is Smith. There's a lot of Smiths in the world. There's some Smiths in the canon. Which one is it? Don't know. A lot of speculation says that it is Culverton Smith from the story The Dying Detective. Culverton Smith tells Watson in the story that what Sherlock Holmes is to crime, he is to disease. So he's a scientist. He messes with that kind of stuff. He is, you know, that's just what he does. So he's kind of, you kind of get the idea and the impression from when you kind of first are introduced to the character in the story that he's eccentric, bizarre, slightly unstable, as he's kind of yapping to the butler to tell Watson to go away. You just kind of get this sense of, this guy's a little bit mad, really. Toby Jones is the main villain. if you kind of connect the dots, you're kind of assuming that he's going to be Culverton Smith. And from the trailer, he is pretty haunting. There's a bit in it where he just does this bizarre, crazy laugh. What one friend said, it was kind of very 007-esque, and it's true. So you kind of get this weird vibe that he is more of a Bond villain than he is a Sherlock Holmes villain, but maybe sometimes those go hand in hand. So yeah, if that is the case, if we're going to kind of take this Culverton Smith character who in the story was known to murder his nephew by using a biological weapon, who then also tries to murder Sherlock Holmes by again using another biological weapon. It's interesting to see him come into play into this series, if that is the angle that they go, because we obviously know that series 4 is going to be much darker. We know that it is there is going to be some sad stuff that happened. If you've read the books, you know that Watson gets married, but you also know that Mary dies. You also know that they've never had a kid. So what is going to happen to Mary? What is going to happen to the Watson baby? So yeah, those are the 3 words. So again, you have Smith, you have Thatcher, and you have Sherrinford. All 3 open up a lot of questions and speculation as to what they're going to do with Series 4. It does feel like Series 4 is returning more to them solving problems, that's what people want in a Sherlock Holmes story. Of course, as well, we're saying these 3 names, and we've not even mentioned the fact that somewhere out there is Moriarty lurking about. How in the world is he still around? Don't know. Is he actually still around? Don't know. But I would say comment and share your thoughts with me below about what you think is going to happen in Series 4 of Sherlock. More than likely will release January 1st, 2017.
Did you miss me?
Miss me?
See ya.